Today we are going to talk about the minor prophet Zechariah. His name in Hebrew is Zachariah, and it means, Yahweh has remembered. He was a biblical prophet who developed his prophetic ministry in Jerusalem. He was the son of Berechiah, who was the son of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, a descendant of Solomon, the son of Iddo. It is called the son of Iddo because Iddo was the priest who was representing the house or family of Zechariah. Zechariah was from a priestly family, which explains the importance he places on the temple and the priesthood. He was born in Babylon and was one of the people who returned to Judah in 538 and 537 before Christ under the leadership of Zerubbabel and Joshua. He was a contemporary of Haggai, and together they prophesied and encouraged the Hebrews in Judah and Jerusalem. After Haggai and Zechariah prophesied to the people of Judah and Jerusalem. After the people of Judah and Jerusalem were encouraged by Zerubbabel son of Shealtiel and Joshua the priest to rebuild the temple. After Yahweh turned the heart of the most feared king of the age, the king of Assyria, back to them, they again disobeyed God. When Ezra, son of Sariah, descendant of Aaron and scribe of the law of God, returned to Jerusalem where the temple was, the princes told him what the people of Judah and Jerusalem had done. They told him that they had not separated themselves from the nations with whom they were forbidden to have association. That these nations, being idolatrous people, had given their daughters as wives to the sons of the people of Judah and Jerusalem, thus disobeying the law of God. Then, when they saw Ezra crying with bitterness to Yahweh for mercy, a great multitude of men, women, and children gathered together and confessed their sins in the presence of their God, and on that day, they acknowledged their faults and turned from their disobedience.
Before continuing, we would like to invite you to visit our official page, Origins 88. You can find the link in the description of this video or search for us directly in your browser. There you will find a large number of biblical and historical studies related to the Bible. We continue with the video.
After the event with Ezra, the people of Judah and Jerusalem went back to doing evil in the presence of God, as it is written in Nehemiah 13. In the first part of the book of Zechariah, we see the Lord commanding this prophet to speak to his people and rebuke them. For the Lord wanted his people to turn from their wicked ways, but they continued in their disobedience, as we saw before. The book of Zechariah begins with an appeal to the people to repent and no longer provoke God's wrath. The visions interpreted to Zechariah by an angel predict the coming of a messianic period. In this second part of the book, three divisions are distinguished. The first prophecy is addressed to the Syrian, Phoenician and Philistine people, from whom God will take a part that will serve him. The second part is a kind of symbolic action in the image of the shepherd, to express the abuse of the wicked shepherds and the vengeance that the Lord will take on them whom they have despised. The third part reveals the rise of a new covenant that will come from the bloodline of King David. Zechariah was the one who began to proclaim the same things that Isaiah had prophesied with his visions. This was the time when a Messiah would come from the bloodline of David to save his people, but not by sword or force, but by his Spirit. The prophecies are basically about the new covenant. They speak of the Messiah from his entrance into Jerusalem to his crucifixion, alluding to the Messiah coming from the remnant of David. It also refers to those who could not fulfill God's covenant through the law, but through his new covenant grace would come to the Gentiles. Regrettably, there is no historical record to tell us how the prophet Zechariah died. And I took my staff, beauty, and cut it in two, that I might break the covenant which I had made with all the peoples. So it was broken on that day. Thus the poor of the flock, who were watching me, knew that it was the word of the Lord. Zechariah 11 verses 10 to 11.